That's
awesome. I'm so excited.
I know, this is like your...
I mean,
Welcome into Sparks, Maryland, in Baltimore County. We're coming to you from Tierney Field as we get ready for our second of 3 All-Star games of the IWLCA Senior All-Star matchups. It's D1 versus D1, North versus South, White versus Blue. I'm Dave McHugh alongside Monica Moore. Welcome into the booth, as it were, on a beautiful day here in the beginning of June. It is June 1st, and we're still playing lacrosse. We're wrapping up the lacrosse season here with All-Star games. Got done with the D3 game. It was a thriller. We're getting ready for the D1 All-Star game. And, Monica, this one has a lot of great talent, like they all do. There's a lot of great names also. The players have been synonymous with this sport for 4 years.
Absolutely. I feel like a kid at Christmas in watching this game because I have watched so many of these players play over the years, have followed their careers, and to get to see them all on the same field in one day is such a great treat, and know that we are in for a fantastic game here this afternoon.
The dark uniforms is the D1 All-Stars North squad. They'll be on the right-hand bench. They're coached by Amy Slade, out of the Virginia graduate. We'll talk a lot about her career, but she's the UMBC head coach, of course, on the other side of the Beltway from where we are located, in her 7th season. The All-Star teams for the South are in the white jerseys. They'll be on the left-hand bench. They are being coached by Allison Kwolek, the William & Mary graduate, but the Richmond head coach, coming off a record-breaking season for the Spiders. As we see Slade there, assistant coach for the Baltimore WPLL squad. Really good talent there in Slade. By the way, Tewaaraton winner.
Absolutely.
First one
Virginia's
for the Virginia
first,
Cavaliers.
Won a national championship when she was at the University of Virginia.
There's Kwolek.
4-time All-American, and then Kwolek, of course. What she did at Richmond this year, absolutely amazing. 17-4 record, school record in points and goals, and then, of course, back-to-back A10 tournament titles for Coach Kwolek.
Their responsibilities primarily in this one is manage the players. Just make sure they get their playing time.
I have to tell you, Dave, I'm not surprised to see Kylie Anderson heading out to the draw circle. We were talking about just seeing her height. She's so much taller than anyone else on the roster. And you don't see that very much in women's college lacrosse, a player at that stature. You may see someone at 6 foot, 5'11".
Lambeth is like, really?
But in terms of Kylie Anderson and the year that she's had, the career that she's had, I'm so excited. She's just one of many to see her play. And you see her just trying to win it straight out, using the reach that she has, the height that she has, but now she has to get it off the ground and no problem.
The UMass graduate is she's an inch taller than I am. And in women's cross, like you said, it's more that 5'6", 5'8" range that we're used to, not the 6 foot. Geez, Monica, I can't think of any other 6-footers in the last few years that I've called. As we get their first shot, first goal. Well, that was quick.
It did not take a lot of time, about 30 seconds off the shot clock in order to score that first goal by Jenna Janes. And you and I was talking with you before the game even started about Jenna Janes and how excited I was to get to see her play. She's one of several players in this contest today who is the first all-time representative from their program in this All-Star event, as you get another great look there at Janes. And
I'm sorry, I'm covering all of Monica's notes. I'm trying to make it as challenging for Monica as I can today.
As we said, first Catamount in history to play in this event. She's had a fantastic career, and just so happy that she is able to represent her school today, that she is able to complete her college career today on this stage, because she has certainly earned it.
Yeah, out of Vermont is where she's graduated, but she's from Baltimore.
And look at Anderson again. I mean, she's just dominating in the circle.
6'3", plus you get the length of the stick. I mean, it puts everybody else at a disadvantage.
And immediately gets the ball right back to Jenna Janes.
So we're back underway here. Again, we should point out.
Great defense.
Didn't turn in for the first
That's Julie
game.
Ball on the defensive end of the field. She's a Richmond player.
Oh, look at the speed. Look at the speed. Crossing into the zone. No, lost it on the back check. Little stick check from behind by Marissa Brown, the Richmond. Sorry, wrong one. That's Miranda Stinson from Colorado. I apologize.
And now Haley Wagner looking to advance the ball up the field, and this is Jan Chores. So you see the great teamwork again.
Yep.
We talked about this in the earlier game. These players have not spent a lot of time playing together. They had a bit of a walkthrough, a little bit of a practice, but this is a true all-star game. And so they're developing their chemistry as they go, but they're such great players, and certainly they've played in other all-star games in their club careers, high school careers, that are used to doing this. But
shot high there from Nemiroff.
To see how fluid everything was in the first event, the D3 game that we saw earlier today, so impressive. We
should point out again, it's 30 minutes per half like we normally have, but it's a running clock. It's not going to stop for a darn thing. We're going to run it down. We're going to have a 5-minute halftime, then we'll run another second half. We'll switch sides. So we won't see a lot of fouls, but we saw some free positions in the previous game called and a few flags, no cards. Nice shot on the near side. Does not go for Nemiroff.
She did not have the real estate on that angle.
No. The other thing we should point out, they're not wearing their traditional jersey numbers for the most part. They are nice job there by Widrick. Getting her stick in there. So excited about getting to see her play today. She's one of the players out of Liberty. I believe she's another one of the Trailblazers that we have here today representing their school for the first time. So their jerseys are handed out by alphabetical order by position. The attacks starts the number at 1, and then it goes to midfield, then defense. The goalies are wearing 21 and 22, and again, by alphabetical order. So if you're wondering where your favorite player is out there, they may not be, most likely not, wearing their traditional number. Nice move. Nice help. Defense coming over from ball. That is Kristen Yanchoris. I have watched her do that so many times throughout her career. The player out of Loyola University in Maryland, twice voted Patriot League Scholar Athlete of the Year, by the way. Says a lot in that Patriot League. There's some great scholars playing sports in the Patriot League.
Oh, look at that interception. It's the defense in D1 so far. And that's Julie Ball again, 2-time A10 Defensive Player of the Year. And again, her head coach is here today.
Shot in the goal. South on the scoreboard.
And that's Caroline Steele. University of Maryland doing what she has done throughout the entirety of her career. And she may be a little tired today because she was playing in the national championship last weekend.
Yeah,
and
pretty good weekend.
Putting on a show.
Yeah, by the way, I gave Ball credit there when it should have been Yanchoris. That's the other disadvantage of the jerseys is they're all the same. So trying to remember them as we go. Shift changes here for both squads. By the way, I should also point out, again, the coaches are by themselves. And so, they're having to manage things literally on their own. And you kind of see them stepping out, trying to do number count. They don't have any assistants necessarily kind of reminding them about little details like this person hasn't played, we have this many players out there, et cetera, et cetera.
And so in the draw control circle right now for the South team is Samantha Herman out of High Point University. Program's all-time leader in draw control wins with 228 in her career. All tied up, one apiece for both of these two squads. And again, the defense getting it done today. Haley Wagner, 224 draw control wins on the season. So you had two of the best in Division I
on the season, Monica.
In their careers.
Incredible numbers from everybody. Of course, it's all-stars. We come to expect that as we get a shooting space call.
So this is Jenna James, and she is asserting herself in this competition, and that is exactly what I expected out of Jenna James here today. Again, as you and I talked a little bit about her before this game, she had 5 goals, 2 assists versus East Carolina earlier this year on March 10th, which is early into the season. She was just warming up.
Look at that.
And she is our first dual goal scorer on the day.
James.
6 hat tricks, by the way, for her this year, and she's well on her way to another one in this all-star game.
James, I love the change of position that time. Kind of slide to the right almost into traffic, and then the quick little shot to get it past Garani. Is that Garani? No, that correction. That is Widrick. I should have known that. Widrick from Liberty is in cage for the South. By the way, in cage for the North It is Katie Glenn, the Loyola graduate. Loyola, Maryland, just to be clear. Out of Florham Park, New Jersey. Up by a couple great institutions up there in New Jersey as well. Of course, she decided to be a Greyhound instead.
And why not? With that program, its history, Jen Adams, Haley Wagner.
Jen Adams, one of the best players ever play the game. Is turning into a darn good coach. Not turning into, really has become, is a darn good coach. Still remember when she played. It feels like yesterday.
This is Julie Ball again.
Look at that speed.
She has been such a factor in this competition for the South team.
Hands it off to Steele, the Elkridge or Severna Park, Maryland native.
She's second all-time in career calls turnovers at Richmond with 117.
That's a lot.
When you average that over seasons, that is extremely impressive out of Julie Ball.
Oh, a little bit of a collision there between Chad and Magnelli. Oh, great look in front. Just a little too high to try and hit Bryn. I'm sorry. I said that wrong. Burn. Oh, good look.
Oh, what a shot.
Oh, great save. Wonderful save there.
That was Ibello on the shot out of Johns Hopkins.
Johns Hopkins, that grandfather, D1 lacrosse programs, but D3 and everything else.
And another, just read it.
Yeah, a little telegraph pass there and a great steal.
And then look at the look up ahead to find Tessa Chad.
But look at the defensive numbers coming back.
That was Brierly.
But still a score.
Was that
great
Haven?
work.
That was Haven.
Was it Haven?
Hanna Haven.
You're right. It was Haven. Just sitting there on the doorstep. It was a 3-on-2. Though the North had numbers coming back, they took advantage of it quickly. Well done by the South.
So the South has the luxury of having a lot of national championships on that side of the field. Of course, you have Hanna Haven, who played for James Madison. They won the 2018 national championship.
The surprise champs.
And then, of course, you have Caroline Steele from the University of Maryland. She's just dusting off the hardware from this past weekend.
She's polishing off the celebration champagne and all that from it right now.
Shelby Mercer, also on that squad.
Oh, by the way.
From the University of Maryland. So they do have a lot of championships.
14th national title last year, Monica. Maryland is one of those programs that just you can slow them down, you just can't stop them.
And I was telling you my favorite note about the national championship is that the Maryland Dairy, which is an ice cream store located in the Stamp Student Union at Maryland, has made an ice cream for head coach Kathy Reese. It's called Kathy Reese's Victory Swirl.
Oh, I love the name.
They debuted it on Monday. So she picked it all out herself. It's vanilla ice cream, Reese's peanut butter cups, Reese's Pieces, and chocolate fudge swirl.
None of that surprises me.
If anyone deserves to have an ice cream named after them, it's Kathy Reese.
Gonna have to maybe take my wife down there. She loves Reese's. That might be the perfect fit. That is an outstanding collection of flavors, to be honest with you.
Great choices by Kathy Reese. Not surprising. She has great judgment, as we have seen, in terms of her recruiting and what she has been able to do at Maryland, and that sounds delicious.
Ooh, just missed on the outside post. I think got a stick on it there. Was Widrick on the free position from Sims. Yeah, maybe Reese's can be a sponsor or something. I've seen them all sponsor some other all-star games like the D1 and D3 men's basketball all-star games.
That was a great shot. I believe that was Christman.
It was Christman out of Simsbury, Connecticut, the Cal graduate. Political economy. Political economy is her major. I didn't quite grasp what that totally means. It feels like two different worlds coming together. Politics and economics. But
well, in this global world, those
that's
things
a fair point.
Are so intertwined.
That's a good point.
And, of course, Christman, I think about her more in terms of her abilities with the draw controls. That was a great goal. She has the school single-season record, by the way, at Berkeley with 81 draw control wins. No surprise that the North team is going to stick with Kylie Anderson in the circle.
If you have Kylie Anderson, Monica, you have nobody else. And that's nothing against all the other talent who can take draws on the field. But you have Kylie Anderson.
Absolutely.
You park her at the center and then see what happens. That's your first, your second, and your third choice.
So not too difficult of a choice today for Amy Slade so far in terms of what she's been doing in the draw control circle. Just when you have that height, it's a great advantage.
Yes.
And no matter how hard you try, you can't just match that up necessarily on a roster. And again, you see Anderson, she deflected the ball very well to Taylor Coonan.
The only disadvantage Anderson has is because of her height, she actually has to get lower to get set for that draw. But I notice a wide stance, bent knees. She's got a good tactic, but that's her only disadvantage is that she's literally got to stoop down to be even with everybody else. But I think she's gotten used to it over 4 years. I'm saying this, in other words, this isn't new to her.
Stenson.
Wow. Okay.
Pac-12 Attack of the Year, two-time first team. That would be her 65th goal of the year. She had 64 for Colorado, and then we're going to add one more to that in this All-Star game. We're already going to get a goalkeeping change here for the white team.
I'm sorry.
So Widrick
actually out.
Is going to go out, and Girani is going to come in. So Kwolek.
Figured you would ride that for the whole half, but I think someone wants to win.
I also think, we're almost at the 15-minute mark, and I've seen coaches split quarters. I've seen split halves, and then I've seen them split
quarters.
So we'll see in terms of what these two coaches decide to do.
This is the Division I IWLCA All-Senior All-Star Game. Coming to you from Sparks, Maryland, the heart of Baltimore County, north of Baltimore, south of the PA line. Hazy but beautiful day. Also happens to be lax splash. Oh, come on. Anderson just steals that out of the air.
However,
throws it away.
That Samantha Herman was not willing to give up on the play.
Agreed.
Quickly gets the ball up ahead to McCafferty, another one of those athletes from Liberty.
Now Haven has it.
McCafferty is going to get the shooting space call.
Yeah. McCafferty, the Boca Raton, Florida native. The game is moving in so many directions. We talked in the D3 game about it moving west. How much it has influenced and impacted Florida, Monica.
Can we talk about her stat line for a little bit?
Sure, please.
Because it is unbelievable. She's the program's all-time leader in calls turnovers.
Whoa,
that's a great
that
stop.
Kick save.
That
Save
was a
again.
Great stop by the goalkeeper. That was Katie Glenn.
And Byrne went for another shot, and all over it was Glenn.
Great catch, by the way, by Jenny Staines up the field. But let's go back to McCafferty for just one quick second because this stat line blew me away. Kylie Anderson's not going to let me do it because she's going to get that shot going.
I was worried that I was going to find the net.
Okay, so Brianna McCafferty, 147 all-time calls turnovers, 164 ground balls, 233 draw controls, and 128 career goals. Those numbers are staggering. I could not believe it when I saw that stat line for Brianna McCafferty.
That's considering. Yeah, it's an all-around game. You're involved in the defense. You're involved in the ride in the middle of the field. You're involved in post goals.
If
you're
you
involved
point
in the
to
scoring
as a
offense.
coach and say, this is what I want you to do as a midfielder.
Yes. Stay involved. Reminds me a little bit of in the D3 game of Adamak, but to a different degree. She's a different player than Adamak in that right.
Another great – that's actually going to get called as a foul. I was going to say that was a great defensive play.
It's the first halo call we've seen of the entire day.
That was Ball, who I've been so impressed with here today. I have not seen her play this year up until today. But
sometimes it's tough to –
very impressed with Julie Ball so far.
Yeah, she's had a great game. Look at the cross.
She took that extra step, got a little bit more to the inside. Stenson is really standing out in this competition as well. So, again, from Colorado. And that
Stenson on back-to-back goals. She gets this one on a free position, makes it 5-2 North. Apparently so far in today, anybody who's on the right-hand side of the scoreboard gets out to a big lead. As we saw in the South team, they've switched sides in the D3 game. But Stinson, again, you point out, again, the move west, Colorado. She's a Virginia native. Mannequin Sabbath, Virginia is where she grew up, but went to Colorado. Of course, her studies is in environmental studies. Yes.
McShane is now in the draw control circle, but let me tell you this. She has eclipsed the 300 career draw control number. And look at the luxury that Amy Slade has here. She goes from Kylie Anderson to Rachel McShane.
Unfortunately, it didn't go their way as the ball was turned over and goes back to the south. So again, the south in the white uniforms with dark blue numbers on the front, light blue numbers on the back. They are attacking to the right and on attack now. The north is in the dark blue uniforms with white numbers and actually a little bit of light blue trim. Johns Hopkins players would be familiar with the light blue colors. It's very close to their Columbia blue colors.
Wow,
nice pass.
That was a great idea by Marissa Brown. She's another one of those Richmond players. I mean, we saw the numbers for Coach Kwolek when this first started, her 17-4 record, and now you're seeing some of the talent that helped put that together.
Speed aplenty for this north unit, and a shooting space call. A few more calls in this one. I think the officials, knowing that the talent level, listen, D3's got a lot of good talent. I'm not saying that, but D1 is going at it today is what I'm trying to get at.
This is McShane out of Niagara University.
I think she's going to pass it. Yep. Pass in
What
front. Shot off the pump fake.
To Anderson. What a target. But Rachel McShane, first Niagara player to do a lot of things. She has a program record, 62 goals, 187 career goals, which set an MAAC record. But get this. I already talked about it. I'm going to say it again. First Purple Eagle to eclipse 300 career draw controls. She has 316, and I think we have a graphic showing you the talent in terms of the draw control circle. Hopefully we can see that Amy Slade has to pick from, that Allison Kwolek has to pick from, because you have players like Rachel McShane on that list. You have Haley Wagner on that list. You have Kylie Anderson on that list. Take a look at this. So this is a record here for Haley Wagner. I mean,
that's just in the season, folks.
You know, if you're Amy Slade, she's got Wagner in there right now, but I mean, it's so difficult. But then on the other end of the spectrum, you have Allison Kwolek. She also has so much talent in the circle as well when you look at the options that she has. We've talked about McCafferty a lot, Samantha Herman, Bristolari, McNulty, and Julie Ball, who has been a top defender in this competition so far. And when I saw those numbers, I just could not believe the level of talent, what these players have done. The draw is so important in women's lacrosse. And I know I talk a lot about it every time I call a game, but it is so critical to win the possession in lacrosse. It's such a fundamental aspect of the game where you can make it, take it.
Shot! Wow. A sidewinder. That one coming from Steele, her second of the game.
Caroline Steele. And we certainly expected to see a lot out of Caroline Steele today when you think about everything that she has done at Maryland in her career. Such a decorated player, and a couple of national championships under her belt. Of course, back in 2017, Caroline Steele and her team defeated Boston College. She scored 6 goals in that game. In the national championship game, she scored 6 goals. And then you see what they did this year. 2 goals, 1 assist out of Steele. And she has just been phenomenal in terms of her career. And what a win right there. That's Wagner.
Yeah, Wagner out of Marist. Saw a few people wearing Marist gear around here today. Great crowd on hand here at the U.S. Lacrosse headquarters in Sparks, Maryland for the IWLCA Senior All-Star game here in Division 1. We've got Division 2 still to come. Division 3 already played, and the South defeated the North by a tight margin, 9-8.
What a pass. What a find.
Shot and goal.
Catherine Sims. That was an amazing cut, but on the assist, that was Jenna Janes again.
North goal, scorer number 14, Catherine Sims.
Sims picks it up.
Assist from number 3, Jenna Janes.
You mentioned Janes. She has 2 goals and an assist now.
She's spectacular. She has not disappointed on the afternoon so far.
Really impressive start to this all-star battle.
And what a lead right here for the North. And I do think some of this goes down to some success that they've had in the draw control circle. We're not going to get the stats. They don't provide us with stats in terms of that battle.
Well, and they've had a lot of wins that have also turned into turnovers, so it's been a little weird.
That's true.
They've had more than I think you realize.
The statistic may not even represent because they have lost some of these, and that's a credit to the South team in that regard. So this is going to be Wagner again on the draw for the North.
This is a senior group, so some of the underclassmen, there's going to be a false start there on Bristolari. Apologize. Again, these are seniors who played the game. So a lot of underclassmen who are top in Division 1 not playing today because they can't. And, of course, it's all from the IWLCA. But, man, so much good talent on the field at all three divisions here today. And we got weather that is, knock on wood, cooperating today.
It's a nice catch there by Stenson.
Good
who
attack.
Has really made a name for herself
Nice
today.
feed. Opportunity. Great kick save. Follow-up. So she shoots, does Nemiroff. She does not get it to come thanks to a tremendous save from Girardi, but then stays with it, takes it, and puts it back in. I hope you followed that. There's going to be a quiz later.
And hopefully we'll get a replay on it to show you again, because a lot happened in a matter of seconds. But you have to be ready for that in an all-star game because these players are so opportunistic.
Look at the feed.
So we'll take another look here.
Gets the feed thanks to the
Great
slide.
find. Nemiroff down the middle, heads towards the goalkeeper. The stop. Beautiful save. Stays with it and gets the putback.
And shoots left-handed, Monica, while moving to her right. I mean, just the whole sequence there. Not only the awareness, too. The slide came, freed her open. She stepped in. Great pass to her. Now she can attack the goal, but then stayed with it off the save as well. And that, by the way, Girardi made a great save initially. Unfortunately, when you have that good a talent sitting on the doorstep, it's not going to stay out of the back of the net all that easily.
Wagner had it, but then what a great check.
Again.
That's McCafferty.
And they'll pick it up this time. Will LeMay. LeMay out of Central Michigan. And Monica, I read a note about LeMay to her coach. She goes, LeMay keeps putting Central Michigan on the map. Because she's so talented. She keeps representing Central Michigan and elevating their game.
All Southern Conference Offensive Player of the Year, 43 goals, 61 draw control wins, 15 calls turnovers, 27 ground balls for Jocelyn LeMay.
Just all around. Out of Ontario. By the way, it's weird to hear all Southern, by the way, for Central Michigan. But that's the nature of lacrosse.
That's the world of lacrosse. You have the Big
have to
East
find
that
a home.
Denver.
Right.
So,
you got to find a home somewhere.
Wow, how lucky are they to have Denver? They had a great year.
Yes, they did. And the men's program over the years coming along as well under a familiar name. We're here at Tierney Field, in other words. This is a great facility, Monica, too. One thing I noticed today, you and I have been here a few times, the lines are not stitched in. As they pass it up top, opportunities thwarted there for Brown.
Wow.
Nice feed. And the goal from Quinlan, who we've not mentioned too much, but from James Madison.
So another player with a national championship to her credit.
Number 7, Marissa Brown.
They do give the assist to Brown on that one, and that makes the deficit cut in half to 8-4.
Well, let me tell you one thing that I really love about Marissa Brown's stat line. 40 goals, 49 assists. To be 40-plus in both, or 40 or more plus in both of those categories, that's what you want in terms of an offensive weapon. She can feed, she can finish. She's a defender's worst nightmare.
It's true. Quick note about the field again, not stitched. They're painted in lines. The advantage that has is one, if for some reason they're only playing one of the genders for a period of time, you don't have to have both sets of lines on the field. The men's all-star games were here last weekend, so obviously the men's lines, the white ones, are on the field right now. But the other advantage is you can shift the field around so you don't have the same areas wear out as much. You can shift, especially the goal mouths, as you and I both know. They get a beating.
Draw controls. Everything has been so contested. Nothing's
easy.
And that's certainly what we expected because of the caliber of the draw specialists and players in this contest.
It might be an all-star game, Monica, but you can't take the competitor out of these players.
Well, that's true as well.
Oh, great shot, but blocked out front. That was a good look. Just great defense. But, again, you can't – you're expecting 4-year, top-notch women's lacrosse players to suddenly ratchet it down?
Absolutely not, especially when this is the last game of your collegiate career.
They'll play some competitive elsewhere, but not like they have been for more years, because you got to count whether they redshirted or if they had high school or whatever the case may be. You just can't turn off the competitive juices like that.
So Brierly, who's a defender, she has the ball right now.
Yeah,
she's on attack right now. So I love this.
It's an all-star game.
Absolutely.
Oh, no, she's coming out now. I think she got caught in her non-native position.
Well, it's easy to spot here because
got
the
a
defenders
whistle
have the highest numbers. And so when you see a higher number on the attack, you start looking at your roster. But I love the fact that Sinead Brierley's trying to get into the action a bit on the offensive end of the field. What
Look
great
at the
defense
ride.
on the ride. That's Caroline
Look at
Steele.
the hip check and gets the foul call, and that's after she just got called for a crease violation that turned the ball over in the first place.
That's 4 years
Feet
of
in
Kathy
front.
Reese.
What a save!
Oh, my goodness. It just
Barrett.
keeps getting better and better. These players just keep upping the level of competition.
And let's talk about Barrett for a moment. Coastal Carolina, they don't exactly come up in the conversation in Division I women's lacrosse all that often. So for her to be here representing a growing program and a developing and improving program, hats off to her. That can't
was
save
unstoppable.
that.
That's Brown again.
Yeah.
Unstoppable.
What? I'm sorry, the UPS distribution center is about a couple hundred yards from us. What can Brown do for you? Just get it out of the way now.
That was amazing. Again, that stat
Just-
line in terms of the goals and the assists, 89 points on the year, 271 points in her career, by the way.
Wow. And you got to consider there's so much talent on these teams.
But
And I don't mean these teams. I mean the teams that these players come from. So those stat lines jump out even more because of so much talent on those respective teams.
And I want to go back to your point for a second about Harley Barrett.
Mm-hmm.
I am so impressed with her. And as you said, Coastal Carolina may not get the attention all the time that they deserve, but they have players like Barrett. She missed 500 career saves by just 13 saves.
You almost want the defense to give up a couple more for her.
I'm going to count the ones today
Okay.
in this contest for
I'll
Barrett.
endorse that. She's had a few today. Oh, going to give it to the – who is attacking here? No, it takes me a second. South's attacking.
Lezick.
I thought it'd be easy the way I color-coded my sheets. It has made it more complicated. I didn't think this through. I chose the color for my sheets in the color of the head coach. It's backfired on me here today because South team is a blue represented team in Richmond, and the North team is a yellow representation in UMBC. It didn't work. Got less than 2 minutes to go here on this running clock. Opportunity. Well, just kind of dove through that there. Did
that's our
it, $30. Hopefully we're back. We got about 10 seconds left here of the first half. Running clock. North leading South 8-5. I'm Dave McHugh alongside Monica Moore. Literally in time, Monica, for us to take a break. We tried to get the halftime a little early. Shot in the goal right before the buzzer.
I thought she was going to get a hat trick in the first half.
Janes and
though.
Janes.
In the first half, she got the hat trick.
Janes with a beauty of an opportunity there. Makes it 9-5 at halftime. As you said, Janes with the hat trick to close out the half. And we go into half with a 9-5 lead from the North. we won't take much time here as we want to reset ourselves a little bit. We also want to give you a chance to see the facilities here at U.S. Lacrosse headquarters where IWLCA is located. So we'll take that opportunity. It's a short halftime. We'll come back for the second half. North versus South in D1 Women's All-Star Lacrosse. Back with more on IWLCA TV. To do it anyway, to be on the same page mentally as so many others that you don't normally play with or play against, really.
Well, and you don't necessarily have a great scouting report other than that you know that everyone's top-notch competition, and you certainly follow the game, and so you know who other players are. You may have played against them in high school or during club games, but
certainly in college, yeah, or in the maybe even in the off season. So many lacrosse players. It's the interesting thing about the sport is pass in front. It's going to stay alive here for the South squad. So many lacrosse players will play in the off season in random clubs, and that is an amazing goal in front for Steele.
Caroline Steele, because some of the plays that she's made today, you think about the defensive play that she made right in front of us during the first half. You think about that goal that she scored. It's not just that she makes plays. It's that she makes highlight reel-worthy plays in rapid succession. As you take another look here, look at Caroline Steele. Able to pick that ball up. It was loose. She scoops it up, then gets that shot off. She is so athletic.
She gets the ball. It's stick-checked out of her cross, so she then crosses her body, gets it out of midair, comes back again, and flips it in, all in one fluid motion. And the wherewithal and the concentration to find that ball. Granted, fluorescent yellow helps. But 10-6 now. Steele with a hat trick, we should point out, here with 3 goals. She had the first and third goals for the South and now has tallied her third of the contest.
So this is Haven squaring off against Wagner. It's a great draw control battle as well, and you see Wagner just not giving up on it. Everyone's still scrapping.
No, I want the
for
ball.
the ball. I mean, these battles for the draw controls. I mean, they have summed up everything you need to know about this game because everything's contested. Yeah. These players all want the ball so badly.
LeMay's the one who got it and then was fouled. She picks it up, gets it ahead to You know, of course, the Sykesville, Maryland native played at Loyola. So much, I feel repetitive saying so much talent, but that's the other thing is the offensive players are making great plays, Monica, against some incredibly good defenders.
That's absolutely right. So this is Wagner.
I mean, these defenders have seen it all, and there's still some amazing goals. Great defense there. Can't follow it. Shot opportunity and a goal.
How did she score that goal?
I'm not
sure. She was working through three or four defenders.
Yeah, she did.
Cannot wait to see this replay because you have to watch her work around all these. This was a contested goal.
Watch how she loses
Defenders
the first goal.
Everywhere.
The first defender, I'm sorry.
And she was still able to stay right on target. Great shot selection, perfect placement. So take another look here at McShane.
So
how she's going to work her way past this
there.
defender. Now she's got a different defender who picks her up. So she's going to work through traffic.
Third.
Around
and a fourth
another
steps
defender.
Up.
Unbelievable.
4 defenders had a shot at her in some capacity, and McShane stays with it, gets the goal to make it 11-6. McShane on Niagara, and actuarial science major. And I hope I said that right because I'm pretty sure I didn't.
I think it's actuarial.
That's what I was trying to say. Thank you, Monica. I was not one who would have majored in that field.
I was not either. I would have shied away from that
just because I can't
possible.
say it.
Look at Bristolari. So Missy Doherty, who's her head coach at Penn State, calls her the ultimate workhorse.
You know what? That's,
and
I think, a high compliment.
She had really a tough situation in the fact that one of her teammates this year, when Madison Carter had that season-ending injury, they asked Bristolari to do so much out on the field, and she stepped up.
Big time. And crease violation? It looks like they're saying McCaffrey stepped into the crease possibly. No, they called a foul. I'm not, well, refs are calling more than I expected, so I wasn't really gearing up.
We were a little spoiled in the first game because they didn't call as much in the first game. They've called a bit more, but this game
it's been a little bit.
Well, what's been so different? I mean, like these players are just scrapping it out on the field. The first game was a little bit more of a finesse game. This is like put your nose to the grindstone.
That's a great way of saying
every point that you can get out of the contest.
Yeah, the D3 game they went at each other, but as you said, more in a finesse way. I mean, we didn't have any of that kind of hitting in the D3 game, and they still were playing well. It's not to take away from the D3ers.
It was like beautiful game to watch.
There you go. Good way. This one is more of, not in my backyard.
This is very blue-collar battle for everything out on the field.
Is it a light blue color, Monica?
Well, in my world, all things are light blue, but.
Incredible game so far. By the way, D2 still to follow. And this has been worth it, Monica. You never know how all-star games sometimes will break out. And we're halfway through the day, and I've had a blast. I may have just ruined it, but it doesn't matter. Great day of lacrosse here in June as we wrap up the lacrosse, quote-unquote, season with these all-star games in a beautiful part of the country, in a beautiful weather. Thank goodness we didn't have the weather we had earlier this week. This Hilltop was – the save!
Oh, did you? I thought it went off the post.
I thought it got her stick the way the ball bounced up, and that is Glenn still in goal.
Slight break in the action if we can see a replay if that was a save or if it was off the post. But
the way the ball went straight up is why I thought maybe it was a save. Usually off the post it kind of comes straight back into play, but you may be right. Oh, no, that is not Glenn. Oh, here we see it. I'll let you look.
Nope, she got it.
Yeah,
what
Barrett?
A save.
Is that Barrett?
That was a great.
No, it's Glenn.
No, it is Glenn.
Yeah,
Glenn.
I apologize. Saw the jersey there for a moment as we get a steal on the other end and using speed.
Oh, my goodness.
Beach.
Shelby Mercer.
Oh, is it Mercer? I apologize. You're right. It was. I looked at the wrong jersey again.
The Maryland national champion.
These two teams are just mano-a-mano. Fun to watch. Yeah, we've had beautiful weather here the last 2 days. The team's got to practice in good weather, too. I was wondering if they took them to the Orioles game last night. I don't think they did, but good game there against San Francisco. Perfect weekend for sports. Lax Splash, a big event, is an opportunity to go in front.
Wow.
Shot and a goal. McCaffrey, just incredible. Working our way through the
and again, so she is in this all-star game. Catherine Woodrick is in this all-star game from Liberty. They are the two first players from the Liberty program
Mm-hmm.
to be in this all-star event. And so they not only get one player this year, they get two.
Yeah.
The caliber of these two players, when you look at what Woodrick has done, what Brianna McCafferty has done in her college career, those are massive losses for that program.
I agree. So I've been trying to get this one in. Every time I mention the word Lac Splash, something happens on the field. So we've got to draw. Lac Splash is a huge youth lacrosse event here in the Baltimore area. Maryland, really. You have teams from across the state who come to this, and they play it on, I want to say half a dozen or more fields on Friday, Saturday, and Sunday of the weekend. So this on top of it just adds a huge lacrosse feel to the entire weekend in this area. It's kind of cool and unique for the area, and it's fun. Unfortunately, I'm missing my son playing a few games himself, but I get updates. That's all that really matters.
Had another draw control win there for Haley Wagner, but we've
threw it away.
seen, this is the one thing about the North, is we've seen them win these draws, and then they will turn the ball right back over to the South, and now it's Steele.
Try to get that past to Sims, and it was behind Sims. They get the ball back, as you point out, and now the South goes on the attack. Leading 11-7 in this one.
And again, you see this defense. I mean, going right at Steele is Radzowicz.
Steele's an elementary education major. You're not going to be able to mess with her as a teacher, is what I'm going to get to. She's pretty battle tested. Coughed up there. Looks like they're going to call Richardson for a foul. Why don't you give a restart here to McNulty. Again, 30-minute clocks are running no matter what is happening on the field here. Thus, if you're wondering why no stoppages on some occasions. Oh, great look.
They're looking for Steele again.
Yeah.
And why not? That was a nice idea by Ellie McNulty. She transferred from
Hop-
Princeton to Hopkins.
Yeah, I believe she finished her undergraduate at Princeton and is at Hopkins for her postgraduate, and as a result is playing. You don't have to sit a year in those scenarios. Played her last year of eligibility at Hopkins as a result, going for a master's in health science at Johns Hopkins. So you go to Princeton, Monica, and you play lacrosse, and you're a top scholar athlete in an Ivy League school. Then you transfer to Hopkins, play another year, and you're going for your master's. That's pretty impressive.
And speaking of impressive,
just off.
missed it.
Yeah.
That was Jenna Janes.
Janes
once
again. Yep. Janes again. The one I'm surprised we haven't talked a lot about, I'm trying to find her. That's how much we talked about her. There's a native of Cockeysville, I thought, in this game, which is basically where we are. I don't find her. Maybe I got the wrong one. There's so many locals. That's kind of the cool thing, too, is we get some fans out here. Just missed. Hey, how about that on the backside, Monica? Great little effort by Byrne to knock the ball down. So instead of it going through and past,
well, and look
she
at
knocks
this
it
on the
down to her goalie.
redefend. They're going to get called for the foul, but
Yeah,
I saw Cunin coming to try to check that ball with the back check.
Kind of hit a lull in this game a little bit. 11-7.
What a find. Oh, wow.
Jinxed it.
So we're going to get the goalkeeper change right here.
For the South, yep.
Goal, scored by number 8, Leah Brennan.
And that's Leah Brennan, who I have gotten to see play quite a bit during her career from calling games at American.
Yeah. She has represented American very well in her career.
And again, she's a player I know for her success in the draw control circle. That's what I think about in terms of Leah Brennan, but great goal. And, of course, she had 31 goals on the year, so I'm not trying to suggest she's not a big part of the offense as well. But and just another one of those players, all-around player.
11-8 the score here. Again, and the the North's going back to their bread and butter in the draw, and that's Anderson.
But is there a bread and butter for them? Because, again, they have
Fair
McShane,
point.
they have
Yeah.
Wagner. It's just the list goes on and on.
And they've used them all. Anderson probably getting more of a break out of the center spot. Of course, she was going up against Rizzolari, who's actually only 4 inches shorter than she. That's about the best matchup.
Wow.
Telegraphed that. Stepped in
It's Julie
front.
Ball. We saw her do that two
yeah.
or three
Look at
times
the
in the
speed.
first half.
Now she's on the attack. Ball, who's got 2 goals on the season. Whoop, checked out of that one.
What I really like so much about Julie Ball is she picks her moments.
Mm-hmm.
You know, she's reads things so well. Her lacrosse IQ is so high.
Yeah. She saw where that play was going before the pass even took place and just stepped right in front of the pass. Of course, maybe when you know it's probably going to Janes helps. I guess you don't have to think too much on that one. What a goal!
What an assist.
Wow, McNally with the
Brown.
goal. Was it Brown?
On the assist.
On the assist, okay.
South goal, scorer number 5, Francesca Donato.
Oh, they're going to give it to the
Assist from number 7, Marissa Brown.
I apologize. I had the wrong jerseys again. Brown does get the assist. Good call.
So
I didn't
Marissa
have Donato.
Brown, that pass, unbelievable in terms of the find. She finds Francesca Donato. Let's talk a little bit about her out of St. Joseph's University. 3rd all-time in career assists with 69 in 56 games played. So that means that she had at least an assist per game.
That's incredible.
6th all-time in career points with 168. She's 9th all-time in career goals. I mean, she is such an impressive player. Of course, no question, A10 Offensive Player of the Year.
I'm always impressed with those who score a lot, who also have a lot of assists. And it's not to take away from either or.
Absolutely.
But it means that they can adapt to whatever the defense is doing. If they're gonna ISO on her, she can assist to teammates and find teammates. If they're gonna focus elsewhere, she's gonna make them pay by getting the goals herself. I'm always impressed with that balance, especially high number balance. And again, nothing to take away from anybody who puts up 50, 60, 70, 80, 90 goals. You know, that's how their offense is built. But the ones who get, double teamed and can still distribute.
Well, we talked about that earlier with Marissa Brown.
True.
Exact same thing.
Steal here on the turnover. Chrisman picks it up. Yep.
Doing a nice job. And, of course, she finds Julie Ball, who has all that speed.
Up ahead to Wagner. Oh, nice pass. Oh, that was an interesting shot. Tried to catch Widrick, who is not Widrick. I apologize. Barrett, she thought maybe he might not be ready for the shot. Took it anyway.
So that was Tessa Chad. We've seen her take a couple of opportunities. She already has an assist on the day. 2nd team All-ACC, by the way. Powerhouse lacrosse conference.
Yeah, kind of. Said nobody. A little miscommunication. It's going to get to a turnover. Here comes the North. Leading by 2 as we're into the 4th quarter of this contest.
And what a check.
Oh, what a back check that time.
That was McCafferty.
McCafferty, thank you. Stays with the North, though. North. They're going to go into the stall mode a little bit, it looks like.
Well, and I think in terms of the score, that's a good idea. They're up by 2, but, of course, plenty of time remaining in this game, but you do have the running clock.
Yeah, it's almost like you've got about a few extra minutes just getting taken off automatically as it gets to Anderson. Anderson goal line extended. Up top to Stinson.
She has had a great day today, and look at all the attention
slide.
she's getting the double team. That's McCafferty.
Yeah, Mercer came over to help as well.
And look, they finally forced
Ball popped loose.
an errant pass there.
Staines has to pick it up pretty far away. The Monmouth graduate who we haven't talked about here today very much. 12 and a half minutes left, but down to 20 on the possession clock. Oh, tried to feed it in front. Oh, lost it on a stick check from Staines. Staines had it. Look, a little bottom check on the bottom of the stick. Popped it free.
And look at Bristolari. She's just weaving through traffic. What a pass. There was a lot on that to Donato. Donato caught
Donato
it effortlessly.
They all have speed. Donato, the shot, that was easily read by Barrett. Everybody putting on a show.
Well, that's certainly something you do in an all-star game.
Yep.
You might take shots you wouldn't take in a game
true.
situation when you're down by 2 goals.
Your coach isn't on the sideline, not going to necessarily yell at you. I mean, actually, think about it. Richmond's the only player out there who might have a little nervous twitch because their coach is on the sideline. Wow, the stick checks in this game have been fun to watch.
Again, the defense has really stood out today. And another one.
That went in on a baseball swing. She lost the ball.
Unbelievable goal. You have to look at this on this replay right here, only in an all-star game. Take a look at this goal. You are not going to see.
Well, to quote a fan sitting next to us, Monica, that was ridiculous.
All right, here we go. And you see the defense coming over, the change of direction.
It's going to get pop loose here and just swing in a goal.
Unbelievable. Unbelievable. Again, just in an all-star game. so impressed with the effort. Was that Bristolari?
Yes. Bristolari makes it a 1-goal game. It's that little baseball swing's a little bit of an exaggeration, but it's that quick little slapper. You know, almost a softball slap bunt down the line as a ball. You're in front of the goal and you don't even think to grab it and shoot. You're just going to slap at it, and it has enough pace to get past the goalie.
So this is Haven and Anderson.
Okay.
Once again, in the draw control circle. We've seen them there quite a bit for their respective teams.
That barely got high.
Haven did a great job just deflecting that where she wanted the ball to go, and then she was the one able to pick that up. And look at the quick
went for the back post.
You can tell right now she's thinking, I want to get back in this contest. But that's what a competitor does, just the way that she executed from the draw control circle to taking the ball up the field, trying to create and generate for her squad.
Trailed by as many as 8-3. They are on a 7-3 run in return. Off the keister, and the pass nonetheless. I mean, it's not like
a good candidate.
Yeah, pass in front was looking up a little too much. Was Brennan.
Martin able to push the ball up ahead.
Brennan was already looking at goal. Ball hadn't gotten into her cross. Turnover. North coming the other direction.
Yanchoris.
In the blue. Nice step-up defense. Shutting the door. I think that was Torres. Now she gets stick checked. It was Torres, the Winthrop native. We haven't talked about Winthrop here today. From Granite Bay, California. She's adjusting to the other side of the coast currently. Love to know her travel plans in. So the South with a chance here to tie it up with 9 minutes left to go in the contest. Again, a running clock. D2 All-Star game to follow. Of course, the D3 All-Star game was tight, as this one was.
And it was very similar. There was a great comeback at the end.
Shot just whistled to the near side. Yeah, just flip the names, and you literally the scoreboard has been similar.
Oh
Shot
my gosh! What
and
a
goal.
rocket!
Guess who? Guess who?
Hanna Haven.
It is Haven.
That's her second, I believe, of the afternoon.
I have her for 2.
And again, we were just talking about that she had made this decision, this mental decision, that she was going to take this team on her back. It doesn't matter. It's not James Madison. It's now this All-Star team.
She's got her championship ring. It's all good. Nope, it's not. She wants this one. 11-11.
Let me tell you, this is how champions play right here, Hanna Haven.
It was 8-3 North. It's been 8-3 South since we're tied at 11s. And by the way, the interesting tactic here from the South, they've been literally wholesale line changing every goal. Just that's how you manage. That's how coach decided to manage this game.
That's what I would do too, because then I don't have to keep track of who's gotten playing time and who needs to go out on the field.
And you're in now.
And I could just sit back and enjoy watching some of this lacrosse.
Yeah, if you're Amy Slade or Allison Kwolek, I think you'd want to sit back and enjoy.
What a draw control win right there by Haley Wagner. This is a huge draw control win because the momentum right now has swung to the South. And Haley Wagner,
North's had some trouble.
224 draw control wins on the season.
No
comes
pressure.
Up big.
Yeah, ends up a huge season in draw controls. A record shattered into both Division I and Division III by multiple players. It's just mind-boggling numbers when you look at it. And granted, again, we talked about it, I don't remember from this game or the last one, the rules of the draw control changing much for the better.
Oh, what a great idea.
What a great look to try and get into CUNA.
That was McShane. That was a great idea by Rachel McShane. Just could not convert. But again, you have to remember these players. They don't play with each other on a daily basis.
They don't know the timing quite. Oh, look at interesting footwork there from Mercer.
We've been talking about that all game long. This has been a
Mercer with a
heavyweight
smirk.
Battle right here.
Mercer had a bit of a smirk on the end of that one. Into the zone.
McNulty thought better of it. A smart decision by McNulty because you don't want to force anything right now.
Yeah.
Even though it is an all-star game, you want to win.
Haven saved that one from going out of bounds. 11-11, under 7 to play here at the Division I IWLCA Senior All-Star Game here in Sparks, Maryland, at U.S. Lacrosse
great
headquarters.
Defensive play.
Great stick check. All these stick checks from behind, so well placed. Haven hat trick.
You could just tell that moment when she was in the draw control circle, there was just a change in her stature that she was going to take this game over, and she has done that. And if the South wins this contest, which is not
First lead of the game.
a foregone conclusion by any chance. She's making her play right now for MVP honors because she is just taking over this contest.
A 9-3 run by the South has given them their first lead of the contest at 12-11 as we tick under 6 minutes. Again, clock running in these contests.
11.
And the officials apparently with a long conversation. I feel like we're back in the regular season here.
Number 11 is the name of the game in the draw control circle because you have Haley Wagner and you have Kayla Bristolari
I'd love
on
to
the
know
draw.
what the officials had a conversation. I'm pretty sure they didn't do a stick check, did they? If they did, it'd be pretty priceless. Finally get to it. I've got noted that the goal was scored at 6:20, and now we're at 5:20. So the South would like to thank the officials for killing a minute off the clock. North needs to fire themselves up here a little bit. They had a 5-goal lead, and now they trail by 1.
And that's what Haley Wagner does. It's just a self-draw. But we've seen this time and time again where the North will win the draw and then the South will come up with a large defensive play to win possession right back. That's so deflating.
Yeah. Or even almost both teams have done that. You know, even the North's won some or lost or won some, and the South's come up with a turnover. These two teams may not know each other individually as teammates very well. They certainly know each other from competition. And they put it together to put together a great game here with 4.5 minutes left to go. Almost feel bad for D2. D3 had a great game. D1 has lived up to the same bar. D2's got to come in here and compete just as much.
But when you look at the talent that's coming into that game, oh my goodness.
I'm looking down there. One of the head coaches.
Absolutely.
And
winning us all time.
Yeah.
Coming up just as a preview.
She's just going to sit back and enjoy this? Heck no. You know she's going to. Ginny's going to be putting it all out there for us out of Westchester. As the South on the attack here. That's McCaffrey with it. Go to the far side, and Brown from Davidsonville, Maryland.
Nice defense once again.
Tried to force it, but a great defensive play that time from Chorus.
You know, you look up at the scoreboard and you see that we've had 23 goals scored in this game. So you think, it's been an offensive game. But no, the defense, I think we may have quite higher numbers if it hadn't been for some of these defensive plays.
Both games, goals could be in the 20s easily if the defenses and goalies hadn't stood up. And it's great about the All-Star game. You're getting to see a mix of both. It's not dominating in either direction. We got 3:20 or so remaining in this one. South now in the stall control tactics.
Absolutely.
Because they've got the lead.
Off this clock, and they hope to get lucky, like in the first game where there was a shot off the post and a fresh shot clock, and
that did wonders.
Could close out the contest. I don't know that there's so much time here that
this clock will run out. There's still 2 minutes left.
And they've got to be really careful because the North is very aggressive on the defensive end. They're looking for these stick checks.
North's got the speed in transition too. Well, they both do. I almost feel like I'm describing both teams when I make a comment like that. Oh, watch out. There's Larry trying to put on a little more to her highlight reel. She'll pass it up instead this time to Chad. Chad from Louisville, the Orono, Ontario native. We haven't talked much about her this season, but 56 goals for Louisville. 63 points on 117 shots.
So South most likely going to start making a move towards goal at this
Better.
point.
Less than 15 on the possession clock. That or they'll just roll the ball out. 10 now. Now they got to attack-minded. Can't hit their target, and Lambeth down to 4 in the possession clock. Got to get it on target. Does get it on target with 1 and a save on the quick shot. I think that came from Chad. That had a lot of pepper on it.
It did. And if they could have gotten the ball back, that would have worked perfectly for them.
Dangerous pass up, but it worked. All the way up to Sims. Oh, here comes the North. Minute 45 left, trailing by 1. Can they? By the way, I didn't check on OT rules. Do we know if we'll be on OT? I'm trying to figure out how much drama we got here.
We'll have to see.
Should the North score? They go into stall mode, 90 seconds.
I don't think anyone here would complain if we got some overtime.
Oh, heck no. I wouldn't. Play a little 5-minute one maybe.
Well, golden goal, of course.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, you go 3-3 like you normally do. Oh, look at the stutter step. Not good defense. Great defense, but somehow splits a double team. Cannot get it to score. It was McShane.
Good opportunity.
70 seconds left, 35 on the possession clock, because remember the shot's got to hit the cage or the goalie. Oh, great stutter step.
Stinson.
Better defense. Went into a double team, but still scored!
Oh, my goodness.
Nemiroff ties it with less than a minute to play.
2 goals in this game.
Nemiroff walked into a double team and still came out of it.
For the University of Colorado, and she is the hero right now for this North squad. And again, the clock's going to keep running.
Nemiroff, yeah.
So
by the time we get to a draw, this might
By the time we get this
finish.
draw set up.
Well, no, they're rushing. We're going to get it with about 20 seconds on the clock. We'll see what that can do. Tied at 12. They're trying to
It's
reset
Wagner,
quickly.
who's so good at the self-draw.
We're down to 20 seconds, trying to get players off. Just play it. I mean, they're going to come off the field. Let's not be that particular in an all-star game. 15. That goes up, barely goes up, and it's a steal. North's got a chance with 10 seconds. Down to 7.
Kiernan going straight
It's
to goal.
Kiernan, attack, shot, save with 4 seconds left.
Unbelievable.
It's Widrick, and that's the horn at 12s. What a great finish. Even the officials are smiling about it, and everyone's looking around like, is that game, or are we going to play some OT? Guess what, folks? That is the game. 12-12. Huge save by the goalie, Catherine Widrick, to keep this knotted at 12. Here's the best part. She can look her teammates in the face because they mounted a comeback.
So, again,
and she doesn't give up the game.
I don't know how many saves she had in the game because
we
don't have stats, but she needed 13 more to get to 500.
I'll give it to her.
I think we give it to her. Unbelievable save to keep this game knotted.
Hold on.
12 all.
Wait a minute. I think we're going to play it. I saw a signal.
If my vote counts, I
they
say
got
let's
an
play
OT
it.
up on the board, so I think we're going to play it, folks.
I love OT1 is on the board, so get
go
ready.
Go for it. Let's do it.
So it will be golden goal.
Yes.
I'm assuming we're playing normal rules.
Wow, what's normal in an all-star game, Monica?
I have to imagine Haley Wagner's going back to the draw control circle.
By the way,
overtime will be played in Braveheart fashion. 1 player each and 1 goalie.
Oh, wow.
Oh, we're going mano-y-mano overtime, folks. Kind of, if you know the NHL shootout style, that's how we're going to do this. 1 player versus the goalie. They call it Braveheart style, which is an interesting terminology.
Who do you pick?
Yeah, I mean, seriously.
Do you pick Caroline Steele? Do you pick Hannah Haven? Do you pick Jenna Janes?
Janes has 4 on the day. What about McShane?
I'm so glad right now that I'm not one of the coaches
Steele?
out on the field. So Hannah Haven's heading out for the South.
All right, so the goalie's heading out there. It's Barrett and Widrick. Of course,
are we just going in numerical order?
Hold on. Is this – oh, you know what? Sorry, folks. I haven't seen this style of overtime before, so forgive me. I've covered a lot of women's lacrosse. It's literally 1 player for each team, drawing it up with a goalie on either end. Buckle up. I love this. This is a better way of doing it.
If you want something that's like a crowd pleaser.
Oh, the crowd's on their feet. They're losing their minds.
I think I'm getting on my feet as well because I don't want to miss a single second of what's
and by the way,
about to happen
it's
here.
number 1 Anderson versus number 1 Haven. That's the other best part of this. Haven at 5'7", Anderson 6'3". They're going to draw it up and battle it out for the win. There's more officials on the field. No. Going to have to redraw that. There's more officials. even the official had that. Oh, you got to be kidding me. Look. The tension in this stadium is insane. There's more officials on the field than there are field players. There's a total of 4 players on the field. There's a total of 3 officials. 1 player will not have an official assigned to her. I love this. We need this more often. It's up. Haven. No, Anderson tips it.
They're
still
battling
loose.
For it.
Haven gets pushed. Anderson. Anderson comes up with it. It's mano-a-mano. Anderson's got the speed. Haven cuts it off. Haven's going to block her. Anderson's like, wait, I can't pass it. Okay. Here we go. Shake and bake. Crossover. Turn back. Shot from her knees. Missed it. It's going to go back to Haven.
I can literally say, without a doubt, it does not get better than
Anderson's got to retreat because the goalie's going to come up. No, you're right. No, I love this. Now, do the goalies can only go so far? There's no way they can go 2-on-1. She probably can't cross the restraining line is my guess. Yeah,
I think that's right.
That's where they're
Good
straight.
call.
Yeah, so now Haven picks it up. Anderson can't stay with her. Haven with the left hand crosses over, shoots, goal! Haven wins it!
Unbelievable. What a conclusion to this game.
The South wins!
What a second half for Hanna Haven.
4 goals!
And I believe 3 of those were in the second
Yes.
half of
The
this contest.
last
because,
3
again,
goals for 'em.
She took this team on her back. I'm going to go ahead and call it that she's the MVP
Oh, yeah.
here of this contest.
She scored the
She's
last
the
3
MVP
goals for this team.
the South. And let's also talk about the fact that the South was down
By 5.
by 5 goals in this contest. I've never seen anything like it in terms of the way that this one finished. What a phenomenal conclusion to this all-star event. And
Come
for
on.
Hanna Haven, that was extremely impressive. You can't take anything away from Kylie Anderson,
No, she
who
was just
won that
gassed.
draw control. And the goalkeepers that we have in this contest.
I'm looking at Anderson. She's got the biggest smile on her face as one of the IWLCA and U.S. lacrosse officials comes out to congratulate her. But big grin on Anderson's face, even though they lost.
Let me tell you, because
it was a fun experience.
To have that experience, to cap off your college career, to get to do something
So
like
unique.
that, I absolutely loved it. Hats off to U.S. Lacrosse, to the IWLCA.
Would they do that for a
Phenomenal.
national championship? No. There would be so many outcries about that. But for a regular season game, that's what I want to see
Well,
now.
maybe they should. It will definitely, I think, in terms of viewership,
Oh,
that was
awesome.
Amazingly fun. And again,
Haven again scores the last 3 goals for the South. She ties it at 11-11, gives them a 12-11 lead, and then gives them the 13-12 win in overtime.
I think I've seen her play 4 times now throughout her
Yeah.
career, and I have been very impressed with her. Again, 2019 first team All-CAA, 2018 second team All-CAA, and it has just been announced officially
Of course.
that she is the MVP
Of course.
after this contest, after the conclusion, after that goal. And again, I told you she took this team on her back. She was 2018 NCAA tournament all-tournament team because she is a player that rises to the occasion, that ups her game to another level. Congratulations to the South. What a contest.
The James Madison graduate out of Syracuse, New York, Hanna Haven, defeats the Killingsworth, Connecticut graduate out of UMass, Kylie Anderson. 13-12 South, the comeback from 5 down to win it. Here it is. Hanna Haven with the winner in overtime. We're going to take a break in about 10 minutes, come back with the D2. Actually, more like 15 or so minutes. Come back with the D2 All-Star Game. What have they got in store for us? Because D3 and D1 have made it exciting. You're watching the IWLCA Senior All-Star Games from the U.S. Lacrosse headquarters. For Monica Moore, I'm Dave McHugh and the entire crew. Thanks for tuning in. We hope you'll join us back here for game number 3, the D2 All-Stars, here on IWLCA TV.